Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video in the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Honolulu Desperados here on Madden 24. That is right. Can you believe we've wrapped up 6 seasons of Desperado football? And not only have we wrapped up 6 seasons of Desperado football, we've won a lot of championships. Oh baby, have we won a lot of championships. We are a 3-time Super Bowl winning franchise. Yeah, 3 times. 2 with Anthony Richardson as our starting quarterback, and then this past season, Anthony Richardson was on the opposing team in the Super Bowl. He was playing for the Cleveland Browns against us in the Super Bowl against our guy, Jonathan Martin. And it was quite the episode, but we came away with a 3rd championship. The dynasty has been constructed. 3 straight titles, a three-peat is a dynasty in any sport, let alone football. So 3 straight championships for the boys, but I've mentioned in previous off-season videos coming up in the next couple of years, things are going to look a little bit different. We're probably not going to re-sign some of our biggest name players that are going to need new contracts in the next couple of seasons because we're still dealing with the negative salary cap, the massive salary cap that we have been put in from the beginning of the series. We've been able to draft really, really well to be able to keep some of our talent, but a lot of these guys, we're just going to have to ride out their contracts, like Devontae Smith, like Jalen Waddle, like Micah Parsons, like Budda Baker, like I don't even know who else is on the team at this point. We've lost a lot of our guys. So those are some of the main guys that we're just going to have to ride out their contracts and let them go just so that we can kind of recover our cap space and finally be like positive money at the start of a season, because we're always negative. And that's my doing because I've paid a lot of expensive players over the years, but I'd like to be a player in free agency at some point. So we're going to have to let these guys walk. And to be fair, if we didn't have a championship yet at this point in the series in 7 seasons or 6 seasons, and we didn't have at least 1 championship, I'd be a little bit more steadfast and a little bit more hard-headed about losing some of these guys and wanting to go super, super negative to bring everybody back to try to win a championship. But since we've got 3 of them, I'm kind of more... I'm ready to start a new chapter of Desperado franchise where we kind of just let the old guard leave after their contracts are up. And we build some new stars, some new faces of the team, faces of the franchise. And we've already got one in our starting quarterback who won the Super Bowl as a rookie. So we've already got quite the face of the franchise building here in Honolulu. If you guys are excited for the start of season number 7 here in Desperado franchise, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get season 7 underway. We have arrived at 2029. It is season 7 in Desperado franchise, week number 1, and you guys are pretty familiar with what the squad looks like to this point. We did draft a center in the past episode, Shane Knott, who looks pretty decent. We needed a new center after we lost a few of our guys, including Dom Grubbs, who was one of our first picks, if not our very first pick in Desperado franchise. Excuse me. So the offensive line has seen some shakeups, that's for sure. Chamberlain moves over to left guard instead of being a tackle, so that is one of the bigger changes. We still have, obviously, Bijan Robinson, who we're probably never going to lose. I'm going to try my best to keep Bijan Robinson around for the entirety of the franchise of the series. He's going to retire as a Desperado. That's the goal. As for everybody else, like I said, with Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, they've been very good pieces to this team. They've been obviously amazing number 1, number 2 wide receivers, but we're just going to let their contracts run out whenever they do because we've got Lynn Lashley and we've got Peter Britton. We've got Peter Britton and Lynn Lashley to back them up to take the next step when their time comes. And then we've got on the defensive side of things, a lot of new faces over here. We've got Wilbon, we've got Jenkins, Ingram, We've got Lucas being the number 2 corner. We've got Jones, who's a little bit too low of it overall. Micah Parsons still holding it down on the defensive side with Greg Rousseau, but same thing with Greg Rousseau. We're probably not going to bring him back when his eventual contract comes up. So there's going to be a lot of new faces here, but hopefully we can build some new stars and have some new faces of the franchise on both sides of the ball. We still have Daniel Carlson. We still have Ryan Stonehouse, so we're looking good on special teams. But we take on the Detroit Lions today. I did load in the draft class. It is auto-generated. I did get the draft class in. Looks like there's a number 1 wide receiver as the preseason, I guess you could say, number 1 overall pick. We don't know much about him because it's the very first week of the season, so as we get deeper in, we'll learn some of his best attributes, and maybe, perhaps, he could be so good that we need to trade up to get him. That's a possibility. They've also got a good left tackle, a couple good quarterbacks, but we're not in the market for a quarterback. I like Matt Wilson at the top of the class too, so there could be some plays for us. That's for sure. I'm not counting out the fact that we could be players in the draft this year, especially with our situation with some of our older guys. I mean, Parsons is already 30, Devonta Smith's already 30, Waddle's 30, Greg Rousseau's getting up there. He's 29. So I mean, we are losing some. Getting some guys that are a little bit older. We don't have a 4th round pick this year. We have all of our own picks except for no 4th. It'll be interesting to see what we do. It'll be very, very interesting to see what we do. I might even try to trade some of our guys at the end of the season to maybe get some other people, because if we take a look, some of our most expensive contracts, we got to ride out this contract with Micah Parsons. We've got to ride it out with Devonta Smith. We got to ride it out with Jalen Waddle, but we only have 2 seasons to go with Jalen Waddle. Baker's done after this season. Greg Rousseau's got 2 years. So a lot of our guys. So season 8 is going to be a very, very sad season, because that's going to be when we lose all of our guys. Freiermuth will be gone. Raymond will be gone. Bland, Rousseau, Waddle. All of those guys will be out the door in season 8. After season 8. So season 9 is going to look pretty crazy too. Obviously, I'll try to bring back like Harold Lucas and some of these other guys, some of the lesser expensive guys, but some of these huge contracts we're just not going to be able to bring back. That's just how it is. Let's start getting into this though. Episode number, 26? Episode 26. Season 7 begins against one of our rivals, the Detroit Lions. Can we start the season 1-0? No, we cannot. We lose to the Detroit Lions. Not a good start. Not a good start as the 3-time defending Super Bowl champions. We do get a recap of the camp standout scenario, and it is for Ramon Jenkins. He didn't get it, though. That's all right. I didn't think he was going to get it. They never really do. Now we play the LA Rams, who have one of our former players in Fred Warner. The first mock draft's coming out, which means we can take a look at some of the recruits, or not some of the recruits, some of the prospects, and see. Oh, we blew out the Rams, though, 35-14. That's a big first victory under the belt for the season. Now we have to go to MetLife. I think I'm going to jump in and play against the Giants, just because I don't think we've played in MetLife this season, or this series. Mock draft number 1 has Matt Wilson going number 1 overall. Does he even look remotely good? Can I tell at this point? We don't know what his archetype is yet. He does look very good from initial kind of 30% scouted measurements. I don't know what his actual skills are. Where's that receiver? Here he is. Shaquem Newton, 6'2". I'm assuming he's going to be a what am I thinking? Red zone threat? Just big body. He's going to be a big body receiver archetype. I'm blanking on the name of the archetype right now, but he doesn't have the speed. But he's got A catch in traffic and B catching. I don't know if he's going to necessarily be worth trading up for. But if we don't have a great season and he falls to us, then I could consider taking him. I'm kind of curious about this dude right here, Spencer Sally, 6'9". 6'9" as a left tackle is crazy. I like, and he moves pretty well too. Spencer Sally is on my board right away. I'm very intrigued by that. Very, very intrigued. And then we got this guy, Bruce Wakefield, 6'1" out of NC State. Not the greatest of athletes, but he looks pretty technical. Pretty good technically. We currently sit with pick 15, or pick 13, but that's going to change, obviously, throughout the season. Excuse me. And we will keep moving on. I will jump in and play this game against the Giants, because, like I said before, I just don't think we've played in MetLife Stadium. I don't even think against the Jets. So we will jump in, play against the Giants, and try to go to 2-1. Here we go against the New York Football Giants. Oh, baby. Start of a new season. 1-1 already on the year. Did I say Jonathan Martin? I meant Jonathan Young. I apologize. At the beginning of the episode in the intro, when I said our face of the franchise, I don't even know his name, apparently. It's Jonathan Young, not... I think I mixed up our two quarterbacks. It's Andrew Martin and Jonathan Young, not combining the two. That's on me. But Jonathan Young is the rookie quarterback from last season who won a Super Bowl as a rookie. Now he comes in with, I mean, all the pressure you could ever ask for in a young quarterback. You just won the Super Bowl as a rookie. Now what's next? Like, where do you go from here? Do you win another Super Bowl? Do you win an MVP? Like, what happens next? I guess we'll find out. The journey is far from over for our young guy. We will see what happens to him. Down 7-0 in this game. But we're going to go with a play action from the 15. Devontae Smith is probably the guy here. We'll see if we can get out into space. Although Thibodeau's going to be right there, and that's going to be a sack. Kayvon Thibodeau, he played that really well. I knew that from the moment I rolled out to that side that Thibodeau was gonna catch me. I just tried to throw it and I couldn't. Thibodeau plays that well. Martin, that's a tight throw. Why did I do that again? It's not Martin, it's Young, and it's the interception anyway. So Xavier McKinney with the interception, and the Giants defense stepped up there in the red zone when they needed to. 3rd and 3. Halftime is approaching. Full momentum bar for the Giants. Fire it quickly. It's incomplete. Devontae Smith could not catch it. It's an incomplete pass from our young quarterback. I guess the big stage, even though he won a Super Bowl, the big stage is getting to him here in MetLife. The loud crowd. 21-3. We are getting absolutely cooked by the Giants. Kind of crazy because I feel like we are clearly the better team. But that hasn't stopped Madden before from beating me. I think I'm going to go Freiermuth here. He's going to try to go up one-on-one. It's deflected, incomplete. 146 and 1 interception for Jonathan Young. Don't really like the way that he's been playing. I don't really like the way our defense has been playing, that's for sure. Can I fire that in? No, I can't. It's going to get intercepted. I did not think he would play that. I saw him. I did see Marlon Humphrey, who's now on the Giants, by the way. But I honestly did not think he would play that. He played that like Madden. And I need to stop jumping in because I'm hurting the team, pretty much. 21-13. Now it's 24-13. 24-17, but that's the ball game. We just couldn't come back. Our defense did not hold up, and our offense could not score a lot of points. That's a very frustrating loss, an unnecessary loss, I'd say. Very frustrating. That's early season football. You're trying to get some of these young guys to play up. We've got a lot of new faces on the team, both on offense and defense, so trying to get some of these guys to focus up and play up to their level that we know that they can play. We'll just see if it happens. So we play against the 49ers, our actual true big rival. We beat them 24-21. They're not having the greatest start to the year either, so I guess that's good. The Rams are 3-1, by the way. They're having a quite the year. We do lose the Falcons, so we're kind of bouncing back and forth. But this is kind of where I expected to be. I expected our era of dominance to be over, and now we're kind of back down to reality where we've won our championships, we've had our fun, and now we're back to kind of being middle of the road. I don't know if that's going to be like how it happens throughout, but I mean, we're still losing here, so who knows? We've lost another game. We have lost another game to the Dallas Cowboys. Mock draft number 2 has arrived. We only have a few more games left to go in this episode. We will go to week 10. Oh, but it's not looking too good for the boys. We have the national focus. We have the second mock draft. So Spencer Salley has jumped up to number 1 in the class. He was predicted to go number 5. Now, because the Saints have the number 1 pick, he's projected to go number 1 overall. Now, this is only mock draft number 2. Things can change in the next 3 mock drafts. We are projected to have the number 11 pick. If we continue to play bad, we could be right up here and be top 10, even top 5. And if we get top 5, I might have to trade up to get Spencer Salley because he looks unbelievable. Now, obviously, we need to know exactly how good he is. He's going to have A's across the board. I don't know. But he does look, not generational, but he does look about as close to generational as you can be without being generational. And this guy, Shaquem Newton, he's a physical. That's what I was thinking. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word physical for a second. He does look also pretty good. Looks like this is going to be a decent class. This is going to be at least at the top. I don't know if it's going to be very deep. I haven't really given it that much of a look. But it looks like it could be a deep class, or it could be a good class at the top. And we have a wide receiver as our one of our expertise, so we'll scout that. Because we could use wide receiver. I mean, we're going to be losing Smith and Waddle in a couple of seasons anyway. We might as well get prepared with some guys that learn the system. But this year's class is Ramon Jenkins, Brian Hayden, Reggie Chambers, Jordan Battle, Antonio Curtis, Demarius Whitfield, Kasheem Livingston, Deshaun St. Clair, Buda Baker, Jalen Thompson, Lynn Lashley's got an option, thank God. Eric Chamberlain, Will Booth. Okay, so a lot of big names, especially on the offensive line. We're probably going to be losing Brian Hayden. We're going to be losing Antonio Curtis. It's a good thing we've developed a pretty decent offensive line depth for the team. Deshaun St. Clair kind of sucks because we're going to be losing a lot of D tackle depth, especially with Reggie Chambers. We're going to have to tackle some, or we're going to have to draft some D tackles, but we're not going to be able to bring these guys back. I don't want to keep restructuring contracts, pushing back all the money. I don't want to keep doing that. I want to get through these contracts. So those guys are going to have to, unfortunately, be cap casualties and get got at some point during the season. But we've got a game against the Seahawks, which we will simulate, and then I'll jump in against the Colts here to end the episode. Well, then we'll simulate the Ravens game, but our final play game will be against the Colts. We do win. We beat the Seahawks 28-24, which is very nice to see. DeMarcus Smith gets an upgrade point. And we will go to Lucas Oil to play against the Indianapolis Colts. 3-4 versus 4-4. We're not up to the best start, but the rest of the division really isn't either, except for the Rams are having a surprisingly good season, but everybody else is kind of sucky, including the Niners, who are 1-6. That is probably the craziest thing I've seen in a while. But I guess some of their guys are getting older too, so whatever. Final game that we will jump into, Desperados on the road in Indianapolis. Let's go get it. It is Thursday night prime time here in Desperado franchise. And we're starting at the 2-yard line. Not a good start. No, not what you want to start a series at, but we'll see if Bijan Robinson can get it done. And it looks like I accidentally forgot to give us different uniforms, so we're rocking the original away uniforms. This is the first time we've ever seen these. That's my bad. I usually give us one of the custom uniforms, like the all reds, the all grays, the all blacks. I just forgot this time for some reason. And I mean, these uniforms don't look bad. It's just not why we picked the Desperados in the first place. Oh, Bijan's got a lot of room. He's got to beat one man. I think I juked a little too early. That's on me. I feel like if I juked the right time, I would have been able to out-juke him and get by him and maybe even score a touchdown. But I think that's on me. I think I juked a little too early. Oh, that's a bad throw. It's going to be intercepted. God, I throw a lot of interceptions, don't I? I throw so many interceptions. That wasn't that bad of a throw, though. At least I didn't think. He was open. The ball just kind of carried. The ball just kind of carried out of the hand of Jonathan Young, and he throws an interception. The safety gets it. But we tie it back up at 7, late second quarter. And I think we turned it over again because the Colts have it in pretty good position. They kick a field goal. Second half action now. It's back and forth. It's back and forth. What's going to happen? Still, we have the ball. Nothing has really happened here. That's the end of the third quarter. We have two turnovers today. I'm assuming 2 interceptions, but I don't know for sure. It could be a fumble. I know the one is an interception, obviously, because I threw it. But I don't know what the other one is going to be. But 2 turnovers, and we're still only down by 3. We're getting pretty lucky that this Colts team is probably not as good as they could be. Set the feet, throw it to Jalen Waddle. He tried to juke a man, but he did a good job. It is 2 interceptions, in fact. But that's okay, because Jonathan Young can redeem himself if he gets a touchdown here to give us the lead. Bijan has it. Bijan Robinson takes it to the house for another touchdown. Probably, well, pretty much the all-time leading scorer in Desperado history is Bijan Robinson. I would safely assume that is the case. He certainly is the best rusher in Desperado history because he's been the only rusher in Desperado history. And I think that Jonathan Young's got a little ways to go before he passes some of Anthony Richardson's numbers. We might have to have an episode, maybe when we get to the 10-year mark of Desperado franchise, we'll have kind of like a retrospective of kind of career numbers in Desperado franchise will kind of set some records, or announce some records, like who has the most passing touchdowns in Desperado history. I'm assuming it's going to be Anthony Richardson. But who has the most interceptions in Desperado history, the most sacks, most field goals made, which I think we've only ever had Daniel Carlson, so I'm assuming it's going to be him. But just like some of those things, when we get to the 10-year mark, we can kind of see the overarching of a decade of Desperado football, who's kind of been the face of the franchise. That was a great run by Bijan Robinson. And obviously Bijan's going to have all the rushing records because he's been the only running back in the franchise. So he's obviously going to have all those. But maybe Jonathan Young, I mean, we're only in season 7, so we still got 3 more seasons after this one for Jonathan Young to creep up the Desperado all-time ranks in terms of passing touchdowns, yards, interceptions, all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure the Colts just scored a touchdown. I wasn't even paying attention. The Colts just scored a touchdown to take it to a 1-point game, and they are going to walk out of here with a W unless something crazy happens on this final play. I was able to get it away to Devontae Smith. He got hit hard, and it's swatted away, and the Colts will beat us 25-24. That's kind of a annoying way to lose. We had that game pretty much won, and they came down the final seconds and got the touchdown. Whatever, we lose again, and it looks like we're kind of just going to be middle of the road this season. Which, after the 3 years of dominance that we've had, is kind of okay, in my opinion. It's not the worst thing in the world. Especially if it leads to us getting really good players in the draft. So we do play the Ravens here. The final game that we will simulate in today's episode, and it will be another loss. So it looks like we are going to be not as great this year. We've only got 3 wins on the season, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. I've come to terms with us being not as good as we once were, as long as that leads to getting some good players. What the F just happened? I might have actually pressed a button. Did you see that? I don't know how the recording looks. I might have just froze the game too. I think I hit a button. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back now. I must have hit the X button. I don't know. You can't see it. I must have hit the Xbox button on my controller. So everything just like broke for a second. Luckily, the autosave worked. The recording, I'm pretty sure, stayed on. So everything worked. We're fine. And the annoying part is I was about ready to end the episode anyway because we're at week 11, so we're not going to go any further. But crisis is averted. We were able to get back. It's all good. It's all good. But what I was saying, I forget what I was saying originally before all this happened was, but if we found out that Not is in fact a star development player, but we're just going to have to ride it out with being bad. We are just going to have to ride it out with being bad and deal with the consequences of, Wilbon's a superstar development. The drafting god, baby. You can't deny that I'm the drafting god. I mean, I come up with some crazy talented picks every once in a while. I am just super good at that. So DeAndre Wilbon, the future pass rusher on this team, future edge rusher. Love to see that. We've also got Herrera, who's going to hopefully be good in the future. We are going to probably be losing a lot of these guys. Like I said, Bland's going to be gone in the future. Hopefully we can keep Harold Lucas, because I do like Harold Lucas. He's one of our original draft picks, I think, right? Or has he been recent? He's a 3-year pick, so he's a little bit more recent. I thought he was a little bit older than that, but I think we let go of everybody that was one of our original draft picks. But that's okay, because we still got Lynn Lashley on the offense. We still got Jonathan Young. I'm happy with how the team looks. I know we're probably going to be seeing a lot of negative morale. That's going to lower some overalls. That's okay. But I'm happy with the way the team looks. And considering we're going to be losing a lot of guys in this upcoming offseason, a lot of guys that I've been trying to lose, like Buda Baker. But guys that I'm kind of upset to see go, like Ramon Jenkins, who we just really got. Brian Hayden, who I do enjoy and think he could be a nice piece to the offense. But I'm not going to get stuck in this never-ending cycle of just restructuring contracts every single season just to keep the team around. So we've already got our 3 championships. We might as well start to take a step back, cool off a little bit, so that we can come back even stronger once we have cap room, and maybe these next couple of years we're bad enough to where we get a couple really good talented players in the draft, and then we're even better because we got these talented players and they've developed into unbelievable world-class talents. Like that's possible. So That's at least the hope. That's the long-term vision of this Desperado team. That's kind of the long-term outlook of where I think this team could be. But that is going to do it for the first episode of Season 7. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.